and she was talking about it that it will help me track my expenses, know what's coming in and what's going out. Then I saw the importance of actually getting the Built app on my phone. That is the beginning of my success. It helped me in tracking my expenses, it helped me in knowing the profit, it helped me knowing how much I actually make at the end of every month. And Built has been very, very interesting. And it also helped me in issuing receipts to my clients worldwide, like wherever the client is, they can easily just click and pay. So using Built is one of the best things that happened to my company. I think using Built for about 6 months, I was able to apply for a loan with my company being registered. Through that loan, I was able to move out of the room and get a mini shop. From that shop, working, and because now I've been able to separate my personal life from business, I was able to save to pay off the first loan. After the first loan, I took a very big one and then got bigger shops. So now I have about 3 shops, one for students, one for production, and then I also have a showroom, all through the use of Built. And now my advice to every young business person is to actually get the Built app, because it helps a lot. It will help you track everything in your business. You get to treat the business as a company where you yourself, you take salary, you know that money has been placed down for your company, and you're actually accountable for every money that comes in and out of your business. So every young person out there who is starting a business or who is already into business should get the Built app today. And remember, it starts with Built.
So beautiful. Whenever you smile, I feel like I'm on top of the world.
Oh, thank you.
I just can't wait to make you mine.
Oh, no, the invoice.
Shoki.
Must be all the stress from the paperwork.
She's fine, thank God. Babe, like I was saying, I love you so much.
See what just happened. Let's.
Don't ruin special moments. Paperwork has been made easier. Reconcile invoices, receipts, and payments by just signing up at Built.Africa. Download the Built app now. Hey, at Built.Africa. Download the Built app now.
This is it.
This is Kweku. He is stuck with the old way of doing payroll. Oh. And trust me, the old ways can haunt you sometimes. Long computations, delayed salaries, your staff are running out of patience. Those scary dreams could become real. No need for such drama. Manage your payroll easily and instantly with just one tap. Sign up today at Built.Africa. Download the Built app now.
This is it.
This is Kweku. He is stuck with the old way of doing payroll. Oh. And trust me, the old ways can haunt you sometimes. Long computations, delayed salaries, your staff are running out of patience. Those scary dreams could become real. No need for such drama. Manage your payroll easily and instantly with just one tap. Sign up today at Built.Africa. Download the Built app now.
This is it.
This is Kweku. He is stuck with the old way of doing payroll. Oh. And trust me, the old ways can haunt you sometimes. Long computations, delayed salaries. Your staff are running out of patience. Why? Those scary dreams could become real. No need for such drama. Manage your payroll easily and instantly with just one tap. Sign up today at build.africa.
All right, welcome to another wonderful Friday. Today we are continuing with our Finance Friday series. My name is Boateng and I'm with Build Financial Technologies, your partner for all your accounting needs. This Finance Friday special edition is brought to you by Build Financial Technologies in partnership with Encore Media. So today we are going to look at something very interesting for your business. We are basically going to consider all the effective bookkeeping practices that you will need as an SME, or even for people who are in a well-established multinationals. Right, so let's get right into the presentation. So what is the role of bookkeeping for you as an SME? First and foremost, in the past we have had discussions about bookkeeping. I think 2 weeks ago we did something on bookkeeping 101 where we showed you how you can go about your bookkeeping, how some of the accounting entries and the journal ledgers work and all that. Now we want to take a step back a bit, and look at some of the effective ways or effective keys that we need to consider in enhancing our bookkeeping practice. Now, like I'm saying, bookkeeping is essential for your business for a number of reasons. The first thing you need to note is that having a proper bookkeeping is going to help you with your financial management. Beyond that, if you get to know how your books are looking, you'll be able to make informed judgment. Also, yes, I'm sure you remember that it is, in Ghana, it is somewhat a crime to not have a good books if you are working or if you are operating a business in Ghana, because the respective regulatory bodies require you to maintain proper goods. And the likes of GRA, RGD, if depending on which area you are working in or which industry you are operating in, NIC may come in, BOG may come in, right? So it is very important that you maintain good books. It is good for your regulatory compliance. Another thing too is that if you are keeping your books very well, you are able to operate effectively, right? So bookkeeping enhances your operating efficiency. Now, what would bookkeeping help you do? It's going to help you understand your business properly, to know how your business is performing, to know how your business is looking. That is basically what your balance sheet will tell you. The business's position in terms of what you owe and what you own, right? That's your liabilities and your assets. Beyond that, also, proper bookkeeping is going to help you to manage your expenses and to prepare you for business growth. Right, now let's go straight into the rest of the presentation. Here we are coming to look at 4 effective bookkeeping practices that you need to imbibe in your operations. 4 effective bookkeeping practices that you need to imbibe in your business operations. And the very first one is that have an organized records, or organize your records very, very well. When we say organize your records, what do we mean? We mean that create a structured filing system. For some businesses, they still are, that might be your case, you still are probably operating a manual system where you have things written in ink and paper, right? If that is the case, we ask that, or we implore you that you create a structured filing system. Develop a system, for you to be able to to keep both your physical records if you are doing a manual kind of business, or if you are using a software, you are operating mostly from a computer, it is required that you develop a comprehensive, book filing system for your digital records. So as you can see on your screen, you can see some ARC files on the left, right? Those ARC files are basically stuff that you can use to organize your records. So we require that you can organize your records by invoices, by receipts, by bank statements, by financial statements, right? So that it streamlines access to these records. When you pick this particular ARC file, or when you pick this particular file on your computer, it only contains invoices, probably say for the year 2023. This particular file contains only receipts for say year 2023. It should be the same if you are doing on your computer as well. So have a structured filing system, right, by way of organizing your records. The next thing we recommend is that you implement a consistent naming system. Now, for some businesses, you issue invoices, unlike those in retail who rarely deal with invoices. For most businesses who render services, especially, or provide some kind of goods, you obviously give out invoices, or probably you may start with quotation followed by an invoice, then the person or the client will pay, blah blah blah. We recommend that you implement a consistent naming system, especially for your invoices. So have a standardized naming convention. For example, as you can see on your screen, you can start with the invoice number, the name of the company, and probably the date or the month within which you are invoicing. This is very essential, especially for businesses that do, we have clients who do recurring invoices, right? People or businesses that you would have to send invoices to every month or every quarter or at very regular intervals. Have a consistent naming system. Now, that picture you see there on your extreme left is a picture of how the invoicing structure looks if you are using Built, right? So as you can see, there's an invoice number there which is giving you BFT from bottom to down. Actually, it's showing 8988 8989 8990, right? The BFT that is Built Financial Technology. So as you can see, it's a clear example of a structured invoicing system. If you are writing in an invoice book, you basically see that the invoice book gives you in numerical order. So we recommend that you have a consistent naming system. It's going to help you to easily search and reduce confusion when you've had to find some records in your books. The next thing about organizing your records is that have a regular review and maintenance. Set a recurring schedule so that you can review your records, and that will help you prevent errors, and will be able to correct critical errors that might be in your respective records. So here is a typical example of an organized records against a disorganized one. So typically on your extreme left, you see someone who is operating with pen and paper, right, with ink, a lot of files, and then also one who is using computer. Both of them, there are ways to beautifully organizing your records. If you are using pen and paper, keep them in ARC files, keep your receipts in files, keep your documents in files, so that you can easily search for them, you can easily do your reconciliation, you can easily find information. If you are using a computer tool, we don't recommend, like you see on your extreme right at the bottom, you see files or documents spread all over the desktop. This is very typical of most people. Everything they download, they just put it on desktop. Everything they save, they just place it on desktop. Have them in organized folders so that you can easily search out your stuff. Now, the next point we recommend in your bookkeeping practice is that you choose the right tools. Choose the right tools, right? So for most businesses, they do use Excel. At least if you are quite advanced, if you're not too local, I use that advisedly. You might use email, you might have an emailing system, right? You might use Excel, or you might use, Microsoft Word, blah, blah, blah. The point is that choose the right tool that will help you keep your books, as we are talking about bookkeeping. Now, in choosing the right tool, we recommend first and foremost that you have an investment in an accounting software. In fact, truth be told, having an accounting software saves you a ton. Having an accounting software will save you $1 million. Right, so the number of accounting softwares in the market right now, you can select from all those that are suitable for SMEs. We have the likes of Sage, we have Xero, Tally, QuickBooks, and we have Built. And of course, for the past few weeks, we've been talking to you about Built. Built is an accounting software that has been specifically tailored for the Ghanaian market. So for all SMEs watching us right now, or all business owners who are watching us right now, operating in a Ghanaian environment, Built is your go-to accounting software. Why do I say that? It has embedded all the VAT, your PAYE, all your local taxation rules have been embedded in the Built accounting software to enable easy operations, so that you don't now have to think about how much tax do I apply on a particular invoice, or how much should I withhold, blah blah blah. All of those ones have been made seamless on the Built accounting software, right? So using these platforms, right, will help you to improve your bookkeeping activities. And we say that this platform should be what you should use, should be one that offers you basic needs for your business, like invoicing, expense tracking, financial performance reviewing, financial records, blah blah blah. And the software that you should invest in as a business or as an SME should be one that is going to help you to at least do these basic tasks: invoicing, tracking your expenses, at least. And of course, there's the added feature of you having to see your financial statements, right? Which is why we recommend Built for you. Now, the next thing is that utilize the automation features that are on the software. So like I showed you earlier, in organizing your invoices, right? When you write an invoice, so of course I'm biased towards Built, right? When you write an invoice on Built, you are able to set some form of automations. For instance, if you have a client that you have to be invoicing every month or every quarter or at regular intervals, you can set a recurring invoice so that you don't need to always be having to remember yourself or remind yourself when to send an invoice to a particular client. So you can set recurring invoices, you can set reminders, blah blah blah. All of those ones are ways of you automating your processes, right? So use an accounting software that can help you utilize automation. So we say that leverage on automating tasks like invoicing, payment reminders, reconciliations, right? Because these things are going to help you reduce your human error and to save time, enabling you to focus more on strategic activities, right? Now, the next thing about choosing the right tool is that choose a tool that is going to help you integrate with other business tools. I think that is quite simple, right? Choose a tool that will help you integrate with other business tools. You can still see the various accounting, softwares down there: Sage, Xero, Tally, QuickBooks, Built. All of them give you some level of, room to integrate with other tools. But whichever software that you will choose, make sure that it makes integration very, very seamless. On your far right, you see something about Built. Built says that you can find other apps in their ecosystem that can, you can continue working with. So we have Built POS, Built Payroll, Built Employee Portal, CFO AI. What basically this thing is communicating is that if you are using Built accounting software, you'll be able to integrate POS. And this is very good for businesses who are operating in retail, right? And you have to use POS. Those who use the scanners, QR code scanners and all of that. You don't need to now be bothering yourself about how to link the daily sales with your accounting. If you are on Built accounting software, this is done seamlessly because integration is very easy. The next thing also, which is very common across all businesses, is paying employees or paying salaries. So you will need a software that you can easily integrate with your accounting software to process payroll. And Built has it, interestingly, right? So if you're on Built accounting platform or on Built accounting software, you'll be able to integrate your payroll with your accounting software. And of course, you can seamlessly pay your employees from that payroll feature on Built. Right now, the third thing, or the third key that we speak about is that you have a regular reconciliation schedule for your respective accounts. This is a very good bookkeeping practice that every business must have. Every business owner must have at the back of your palm, that you need to reconcile your accounts regularly. By that, what we mean is, you need to ensure that your financial records are up to date with your banks. This is very, very, very critical. This is very, very, very critical. Some people go into their books and they will see their books are showing them so and so bank account is 10,000 in their books, but when they go to the bank is showing them a figure of 5,000, right? That is a clear disparity there. We recommend that you do a regular reconciliation so that your financial statements are always aligned with some of these confirmatory resources like the bank, right? So there are a few things that may cause your statements to not agree with what probably you have with the bank, for instance. But there may be instances where a customer has paid you directly to your bank account without your prior notice, right? With that, you are going to have a disparity with your books and with your financial records with the bank. Also, the bank may deduct you bank charges and other charges, service charges that you may not be aware of, right? And there are several other allied, information that may happen on your bank accounts that you may not have a view of. So we recommend that in regularly reconciling your accounts, you are going to be able to detect some of these errors, and then if there are fraud or discrepancies in your business's financials, you'll be able to detect them quickly and then resolve them. Also, while reconciling your account, it is best that you set reconciliation schedule, right? Basically, at least for your business, at least every month, you should be able to get your financials or your statement or your records up to date, at least every month. It is best you could do it every day or every week. If you want to do it fortnightly too, that is also, allowed, or that is recommended. So set a schedule for your reconciliation. Set a schedule. It can be daily, it can be weekly, it can be fortnightly, it can be monthly, but at least every month, make sure your financials are well reconciled. This is a very good bookkeeping practice that you need to have. Now, while you do that, if any discrepancy shows up, try and resolve them promptly, right? While you reconcile, if you observe any discrepancy, try and resolve them promptly. If there's any error that you detect, try and resolve it promptly. Last week we spoke about preventing fraud from happening to your business or happening in your business. This is one way. We also mentioned that you can avoid or reduce the impact of fraud. Do a regular review or reconciliation of your accounts. Once you have done that and you observe any discrepancy, resolve it promptly without preventing it to escalate any further. Now, the fourth key that we recommend for you in your bookkeeping practice is that you stay compliant with regulations. Stay compliant with regulations. Yes, you are running a business, but you are not running the business in silo. There are rules of engagement that you need to pay attention to. Now, in staying compliant with the respective regulations, what do we mean? For your business, depending on which industry you are operating in, at least you have someone like, you have a body like GRA, you have a body like RGD and SNITS having a significant impact or regulatory supervision on your business, right? So familiarize yourself with all these regulations, especially the tax and the allied regulations that affect your businesses. So at least you would have VAT implications, that if you are registered for VAT, or you have withholding taxes implications affecting your business. You may have PAYE if you have people employed in your business, and you have personal income tax implications or corporate income tax, depending on what form of registration your business has, right? So if you are registered as a sole proprietor, you should know that at the end of every year, you are supposed to file your personal income tax. If you haven't listened to this, we had an engagement where we spoke about the respective taxes that affect your business. So in the coming few days also, we'll go over them again. But if you are registered as a corporate, you know that at the end of every quarter, you need to file your corporate income tax. And if you have people in your employ, every month you should be filing their PAYE, which is pay as you earn. As you pay them, you should also withhold something and pay to the government. And then, of course, withholding taxes and all of that. These are things that you should know about your business. Knowing them will help you prevent penalties and ensure smooth operation, right? The next thing also is that make sure you maintain accurate financial records. We have said this time without number that if you are operating a business and you don't have proper financial records, it's an offense, right? It's an offense not to have proper financial records. So keep detailed financial records of all your transactions. And of course, these things, like we all know, sometimes it can be very daunting, which is why we keep saying time and over that you need to use a software. You need to use an accounting software at least, which is why we always talk to you about Built, right? So the final thing is that you must seek financial, advice from professionals on things that border on you staying compliant. So sometimes we have had engagement with businesses who still struggle to manage their taxes, who still struggle to stay compliant and all of that. We understand that you are a business person. You may not necessarily be a professional in tax or in accounting matters. So it is recommended that you seek professional advice. We have an arm of our business that do provide some of these virtual accounting and allied professional services, right? So you can reach out to us. Built would help you manage your taxes, manage your accounting, manage your books, right? So seek professional advice because their expertise are going to provide you with valuable insights that will ensure that you stay compliant, in effect helping you avoid some of these penalties that may come your way. Right, so these are the 4 main keys that we have discussed today. The first thing is that keep an organized records because it's going to help you to be able to track things easily. The next thing is you choose the right tools. Invest in a software, an accounting software for that matter, and every other relevant software needed for your business, and then do a regular reconciliation of your accounts, of all your financial transactions. Finally, we have spoken about you staying compliant, guys. You do not want to be in the bad books of the regulatory bodies. I mean, we've had instances where people say GRA is harassing them. If your books are good, you'll be free from all of these harassments. Use an accounting software. Now, just by way of going through, our final thought is that having an effective bookkeeping is vital for your SME to thrive or for your business to thrive. Implement these practices. Implementing them not only enhances your financial accuracy, but it also positions your business for future growth. Right, now we are open to you. If you have any questions on what we have discussed, if you have any question, you can comment that on the respective platforms. If you're on Zoom, you can put your questions in the comments. If you're on Facebook, you can put your questions there and we'll be ready to take them. So while we wait for the questions, I'll quickly glance through what we have discussed today once again for us to get ourselves abreast. So we are basically discussing effective bookkeeping practices for SMEs. And we said that bookkeeping is going to be essential, or it is essential for your financial management, for your decision making, for regulatory compliance, and for your operational efficiency. So it's very necessary to keep your books. It's going to help you understand your business, to know how your business is doing, how your cash flows are doing, and to manage your expenses very, very well. Because if you get to know that you are throwing funds on something that is not relevant for your business, because you are keeping your books, you'll be able to eliminate those things and save you some money. And of course, bookkeeping will help you to prepare for growth. So the 4 key things that we have discussed that are going to help you to maintain an effective bookkeeping practice is that, first and foremost, organize your records. Organize your records. Keep a very neat, structured filing system. If you are using hard copy files, keep them in files. Keep them in ARC files, right? Keep them in ARC files. Organize them properly. Name them. These are invoices. These are receipts. These are financial statements. These are bank statements. Keep them very organized, neatly organized. And for items like invoices and allied things, maintain a consistent naming system. If you have any question, you can put them on the platform, whether you're on Zoom or you're on Facebook. Put your questions on the platform. We are just doing a quick recap of what we have gone through today, right? So if you are maintaining a written invoice, make sure you have a consistent naming system. And there you can see a typical example from the Built accounting software, where you have the invoices numbered in a very nice way, in a chronological order also. The next thing is that you need to do a regular review and maintenance of your respective records. Make sure if your files, you are using physical files and they are full, keep them properly, review them very well. The next thing is you need to choose the right tools for your business. And we recommend that you invest in an accounting software. Guys, you cannot operate a business successfully without accounting. You can't do away with accounting. So there are a number of platforms that are going to be essential for your business. And we say that if you are in Ghana, Built accounting software has made things very easy for SMEs and business owners in Ghana. So you can log on to www.built.africa and explore for yourself. You can sign up for free, enjoy a 1-month usage. It's a cloud-based software, so you can use it on your phone, on your laptop, on your tablet, whichever device that can connect to the internet. You can use Built accounting software on it, and it's seamless. You get a real-time tracking of everything happening on your finances, right? So it is good to keep or have an accounting software. The next thing is that utilize the automation features on the accounting software that you are using, right? Guys, if your accounting software doesn't give you some form of automation, then it is good to reconsider investing in another one. Built has got you, right? The next thing is that make sure your software has some opening for integration. The least is you'd have employees to pay, so your software should be one that allows you to pay or allows you to process payroll. Built accounting software already has that considered, because we have SMEs at heart. We know it can be difficult to maintain the PAYE and the SNIT regulations, blah blah blah. Sometimes it's difficult to add that to your business headache. So Built accounting software has a payroll feature also that has made this very, very seamless. So log on to www.built.africa, explore things for yourself. The third key to your effective bookkeeping practice is that you do a regular reconciliation. Regular reconciliation is critical to ensure you prevent fraud, to help you, detect errors and resolve them promptly. Have a schedule for these reconciliations. So guys, at least every month, make sure your books are reconciled. At least, right? But you can do it daily, you can do it weekly, you can do it fortnightly. It should be regular, but at least every month. The next thing is that when you do this and you identify any discrepancy, make sure you resolve them promptly. Now, the fourth key, which is very, very, very vital, is that make sure you are compliant with all the regulatory bodies, especially GRA, SNIT, RGD, right? I say these three because these three are fundamental to almost all businesses in Ghana. Make sure you are in the good books of GRA. By that, you need to understand the tax obligations that border on your business. There's VAT, there's withholding tax, there's PAYE, there's personal income tax, and there's corporate income tax. So depending on the kind of business you have registered as, make sure you are complying with all of these ones that border on your business. Is there a question?
Yeah. So there's a question on Facebook coming from Just J Couture.
Okay.
He said you spoke a lot about getting an accounting software, but I'm not an accountant. So how can I manage it?
Great. So I thank you very much for that question. The question says that, we've been talking a lot about getting an accounting software, but this particular business owner is saying he is not an accountant. So how can he or she manage this particular one, right? So like we said, there are various accounting platforms that you can use for your business. We have Sage, Xero, Tally, QuickBooks, Built. most of these accounting softwares, you need to have an accounting background to be able to navigate them, right? But Build has made things very, very, very easy, right? Very, very, very easy. I quite remember when we were in school, people were boggling their heads over things like debit and credit, debit and credit. The interesting thing about Build is that when you are interfacing with Build, it doesn't show you debit and credit. It shows you things that you can easily understand. What to pay, who to pay, how to pay, right? If you are invoicing, who are you invoicing? How much are you invoicing? It gives you the basic format or the basic English aspects of doing a business. And then on the background, the software itself will be doing the accounting. So at the end of the day, all you need to do is just to go to the report and look at what has happened, right? So if you are not an accountant, that is not a problem. You can easily use Build, because Build does not interface with you as an accountant. It interfaces as a normal, regular business, owner or a business person. So long as you understand this is, I'm paying an invoice or I'm paying an expense, right? I'm writing an invoice. I'm doing a particular transaction. Those are the basic things that businesses do. So Build has been communicated in this basic, English, business English for all business owners, so that you don't need to be an accountant to be able to use Build. So if you are not an accountant, it is good. You can use Build for your business. It is much easier than other platforms that do interface for accountants. Right. Is there any other question?
Yeah. So this is on Zoom.
Okay.
Are there particular industries that can use the Build accounting or any business at all? Also, as a solopreneur, do I really need a whole software to manage my bookkeeping since I'm the only person in the business?
Very good. Right. So this person is asking that, are there industries that you can use the software for? And then also, as a solopreneur, as in he's the only person in the business, does he or she need a whole software for the business? So let me just start from the last question, right? As a solopreneur, you are the best person to actually use a software, right? So the point is that we think of softwares as something very, very huge, but it's not as huge, guys. It's not too deep. Anything basic for your business, anything basic to make things easier is a software. And because you are a solopreneur, there is the probability or the likelihood that there's going to be a lot on your desk. Guys, you cannot keep all of these things in a book, right? Or even in your head. It is easier to use an accounting software because it communicates your financial transactions in an accounting language, right? So the basic thing that you record in your book as an invoice, 10,000, the software will take that particular transaction and process it in an accounting language for you, so that at the end of the day, if you want to know how much you have issued out, what you have sold, what your revenue is, you pick the software, you go to the report side of the software. It shows you your total revenue, all your expenses, all your profits at the end of the day, right? So as a solopreneur, it is very relevant that you get a basic software that can help you, do your basic accounting. And Build has respective pricing. We have the basic feature, the very, very basic. That is what you will need for anything business, right? I think it's 60 cedis. Quite affordable for every business per month. 60 cedis per month. It will help you do everything bookkeeping, so that you don't need to necessarily keep files in your books. Invoicing, expenses, financial records, statement, reconciliation, all of that, you get that on Build software. Now, the next question is about which industry that Build can operate in. Actually, Build can be used for almost all industries, right? All sectors. There are some sectors that do have specialized requirements, for example, banking and insurance, and those specialized requirements are coming from their regulators, right? So banking, insurance, usually they have a specific requirement. Apart from that, regardless of the sector you are operating in, if you are doing production or you are rendering services, especially for service businesses, it is quite easy to use Built, regardless of where you are. If you are also doing retail, right, let's say you have a shop that you do sell one-on-one items, right, you can use Built also, because Built has an integration with a POS where whatever you sell, once you scan it, it records the revenue for you on the background. All you need to do is just to scan. At the end of the day, all the revenue will be reported for you. So Built is essential for all businesses. The restriction might be for banking and insurance because they have specific requirements. Any other question?
Yeah, we have a lot of questions.
Wow.
Eric Zong on Facebook is asking, please, can I use Built accounting software to issue invoices?
So someone is asking if he or she can use Built accounting software to issue invoices. In fact, with all that we have been saying, that is one of the easiest or the basic things you can do on Built. Over here on the screen, on your far left, right, is an aspect of the invoicing dashboard of Built. Here, every particular invoice that you issue, you can, first and foremost, you can use Built to issue invoices. You can use Built to issue all forms of invoices, whether it is a one-off invoice or it's an invoice that will be recurrent. You can set recurring invoices on Built. You can set one-off invoices on Built. And beyond that, you can set a reminder on your invoice. So sometimes you may lose track of the timelines for the invoice you have sent out. So if you are using Built for your invoicing, you can set a reminder so that at that date or at that time of the reminder, the software will remind your customer or your client that this particular invoice is due or is overdue or is getting due, right? So you can use Built for your invoicing. This is just an aspect of the invoicing dashboard. Shows you the invoice number, the customer. For confidentiality reason, we can't project the customers, on the platform. And then the issue date, that's the date you issue the invoice, the due date. So even from here, you can see that you can process an invoice at a later date. Typically, you can see here an invoice being issued for November 15th. So you can enter an agreement or have a business transaction settled now, due for a particular date, November, December. On Built platform, you can invoice that customer and schedule it to be sent at that date so that you don't need to worry your head over this again. Thank you.
All right. Another question on
Another
Zoom.
question? Great.
I have learned a lot. Thank you for helping us understand the benefits of bookkeeping.
Interesting.
As a business owner, what common mistakes should I avoid in bookkeeping? That's the first section. The second one says, again, are there some resources available for further learning in bookkeeping you can recommend?
Great. Right. So the first question this person is asking is, what mistakes should he avoid in bookkeeping? And then the next one is what other recommendations for learning, right? Great. So the very first mistake, or one of the gravest mistakes you should avoid, is not keeping your records at all, right? Not having records at all. It's a very, very big mistake for any business owner or for any business to commit. So make sure that you keep records. Now, beyond that, we have moved on to a digital age where keeping records on hard paper has become redundant, right? So one other mistake you can avoid is keeping records on paper, right? Keeping records on paper. Transition your business or transition your bookkeeping to a digital platform like Built, right? On a digital platform, you wouldn't have instances where your records are missing or your records are destroyed by water, by whatever means, or your records have been stolen, right? If you keep a digital record or a digital receipt of your financial transactions, it minimizes all of these dangers and helps you improve your business's efficiency. Now the next question, I'm trying to remember the next question. The second one, it was 2 in 1.
Anywhere.
Yes, anywhere for learning. Very good. So all of these things we have thought about them deeply at Built, right? We have considered them deeply at Built. So Built has an online learning platform. If you log on to www.built.africa, we have a helper box, right? A helper. If you subscribe to Built, even there is a helper box down there on your bottom right. I wish I could demonstrate that. On there, you see all accounting needs that you need for your business. So there are tutorials for all accounting transactions, all accounting, financial accounting stuff, all bookkeeping, things that you need for your business. Because we have thought hard about how SMEs operate, and we have put all of these things in videos, in articles. We have a Built blog where you can read on articles about bookkeeping, about operating a business in Ghana, and all of those things. So on www.built.africa, there's a helper box there to help you navigate some of these accounting and some of these business related activities in Ghana. All right, so I think that is the end of the questions that we have. So you can reach us at 0308 040 007. 0308 040 007. If you need a real-time accounting software for your business, do not hesitate to reach Built. Thank you. Now I want to remind you that this particular Finance Friday series is brought to you by Built Financial Technologies in partnership with Encore Media. Encore Media is your plug for every media-related engagement. If you have a birthday, you have an event, a funeral, church event, whatever events that might be, you can reach Encore Media and they will come and cover it and produce it for you perfectly. Thank you so much for having us on today's Finance Friday series. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.
You are so beautiful. Whenever you smile, I feel like I'm on top of the world.
Oh, thank you.
I just can't wait to make you mine.
Oh, no, the invoice.
Shoki.
Must be all the